Promise-Stein, the angel and my future wife. I love Promise-Stein. Anyway, you never fight her, so there's no talk events. Her trait is Mad Scientist Angel. She can always use holy, magic, science, and medicine skills. Magic science skills deal 30% extra damage, or triple damage when at critical health. So, as always, being able to use various skills at any time are kind of meh. But that triple damage at critical health can never be ignored. It's just, I don't find magic science skills to be particularly useful. But we'll put it at B. It's pretty good. For play events, she gives a lecture, grows plants, which does AoE damage to enemies, causes an explosion, which darn nearly wipes everything every time, unleashes a poison gas, which I think is only bad to the party, and then uses the vacuum discharge skill, which is another good AoE attack to the enemy. So, having her as a gab out is suicide. Both explosion and poison gas are terrible. Even though Grow Plant and Vacuum Discharge are both very good, nothing makes up for that explosion skill. Any character that has the explosion skill on their playlist gets an automatic F for play. As for her story importance, I don't even think it's the same game if you go through Paradox without Promise-Stein in your party. Putting her at A doesn't even do her justice. I'm putting her as an S rank for story interactions. I think she is mandatory to have in your party, if nothing else but for her story interactions. Anyway, I am biased though, so take that with a grain of salt. But still, she has a lot of story interactions. Talking in the Pocket Castle, she'll talk to Ilias. What's wrong? You're staring at me. This time I will have you re-educated. Locked away somewhere, you'll be forced to listen to my teachings. Can I have one of your feathers? I want to perform a small chemical experiment using the holy element. And then you'll become my loyal pawn. Use your own. Huh? How rude! Now my words and thoughts are mixed up. You shouldn't speak while I'm in the middle of thinking. She'll also talk with Luxuru. Now this is an unusual machine. This nerve center resembles that of an organic life form. What are you saying? I was originally human. I was fused to this machine, but my upper half was never processed. But most of your brain has been altered. It can hardly even be called organic. Huh? Hey, is that true? Aren't you excited? No! She also talks with Jade. What? You have a surprising number of organic components. In fact, most of your components are organic. I am not a robot. I am a mechanical life form. You seem to have undergone a fairly unique evolution. Is it alright if I dismantle your leg for a bit? No good would come of it. And she interacts with Naruko. Q! What an unusual organism. Just what is it? Q? Don't worry, it won't hurt. It'll only tingle a little bit. Hey! Stop picking on Naruko! No, I was only taking a small sample. Sorry. Alright, as for her presence, She likes fruits and sweets, and she's a vegetarian, so she won't eat any meats. She has a lot of interesting interactions. Particularly as a scientist, she has some history of the items, so interesting ones include grapes. Grapes? This fruit is from warm and humid areas. I've seldom eaten it. It'll be delicious. Cherries? I can tie them with my tongue. Oh, on top of being a smart redhead, she is a good kisser. My future wife. Banana? A banana? The shape is interesting. Anyway, thank you very much. Frostine, are you into wiener-shaped things as well? The shiitake mushroom? The shiitake mushroom? Mushrooms are more closely related to animals than plants, you know. A potato? A potato? These have good harvest efficiency to calorie yield ratio. Corn? Corn? Some earth tribes consider it holy. The chili pepper? The chili pepper. Capsaicin is a component of what makes it burn the tongue. Any of the sea creatures? A fish? I do not eat meat. Let's put it in an aquarium for experimentation. The squid? Did you know breeding squids is very difficult? It'll be an interesting challenge. An eel? An eel? Quite an interesting creature. I'm very interested in its ecology. Any of the meats? I'm sorry, but I do not eat meat. I'll turn it into feed for experimental organisms. Seaweed? Seaweed. This has the most primitive type of genome. Hmm? I seem to have a bit of inspiration. Flour. This powder produces many different foods. Human ideas are great. Curry powder. This curry powder is a refined product produced by top secret recipes. I'm sorry, but I'm not good with spicy things. Cheese. Pasteurization and livestock were the first steps in mankind's progress. Anyway, I cannot eat it. Rice? Rice? Well then, let's eat. Much. I can feel the agricultural history. Fried rice? They say the taste of the fried rice tells the chef's skill. Chop chop. Yes, delicious. Kids meal? Despite my looks, I'm not a child. Yes, as an angel, even in this form, you are still quite old. I mean, she said herself she's been in that rift for over 200 years, so yeah, child she is not. Salad. This is delicious. My brain is reinvigorated. I'm going back to my research. The Gian stew. This is... Is it a failed homunculus? Ah, it was food? No, thank you. Spaghetti. The meat sauce is being analyzed. No, pardon me. It's delicious. Any of the chocolates? It's sugar for when my brain power wears down. Chocolate is the best because I can have it while I am experimenting. Wedding cake. It's sugar for when my brain power wears down. But this is a bit too gorgeous. Pudding. It's sugar for when my brain power wears down. Pudding in particular is my favorite. Parfait. It's sugar for when my brain power wears down. With parfait, I also get a boost to my research. Cola. Cola. It's ideal for keeping hydrated. Coffee. Actually, I can't handle coffee. Is that surprising? Yes, it is very much. I imagine you would be downing gallons of the stuff for the day, but okay, you can't handle coffee. Maybe your older form does. Beer. Alcohol is useless. It slows down the head's functions. Because I really want to dissect you, it's dangerous. Dangerous for me or dangerous for you? Yes, okay. Honey. This can also be used for ecological experiments of insects. I eat it all. Any of the grilled items? Why did you cook this? If you had kept it alive, I could have used it in my experiments. Cicada shell. This is interesting, don't you think? Is this a cicada? I'd like to see the contents, too. Fish bones. This is interesting, don't you think? Is it an ayu? That's what comes to mind for when it was alive. The poison mushroom. Letting me eat a Pluteus leonicenus? What are you planning? I'm sorry. I specialize in poisons. The skull. This is male. 20-25 years of age based on the wisdom teeth. Excuse me, was the appraisal necessary? Weeds. This is crabgrass. Not very interesting. It's just a weed to most people. Acorn. This is the fruit of an oak tree. Quite an interesting gift. Pine cone. This is the pine seed of a redwood tree. Quite an interesting gift. Beetle. This is a male beetle. Quite an interesting gift. Rock. This is a common conglomerate stone. Gravel is currently written on it, but it's not particularly amusing. And last but not least, the Chipapa. Hey, a spirit! Wait! Escaped. Chandra, the ghost possessing a candle. While talking to her, she acts as if her life is ending, but she is an undead type, so that's not an issue. She is a spirit possessing a candle from an old mansion. So in Japanese mythology, if you take care of an item for 100 years, a spirit will become able to possess it. And so Chandra here is one of those items. Her trait is Short-Lived Flame. She can always use corpse skills. She deals plus 30% fire damage, If above 30% HP, endure a lethal blow of 1 HP remaining once per battle. Deals increased damage with corpse skills based on her current HP. So that ability to endure a hit is very useful early on, especially on the harder difficulties. The extra fire damage is okay. And then dealing extra damage with her current HP, especially with how it interacts with resisting that death, she's actually quite strong. So we'll give her a B. It's nice early on, but it gets outclassed fairly easily. For play, she makes candles. She plays with matches, which causes damage to the enemy party. She gets hotter, which does nothing. She practices her signature because she actually wants to be an idol. And she warns against starting fires. Kind of ironic, given that she plays with matches in another one of her plays. But, yeah, it's a purely positive effect. We have to put it at B. As for her story interactions, she doesn't have anything particularly special, so C she goes. We don't have anyone she interacts with in the Pocket Castle yet. Let's brighten up this castle. And could you also let me join your party? So, as an undead type, she shares the trait in that she doesn't really need to eat anything. So, there's very few items she will accept. One of which is a cucumber. The cucumber. Oh my, it's the Equinoctial Week, which is apparently a week in which Buddhist services are held. I am undead, so I don't need to eat, but I'll take it. The deluxe rice ball. I'm undead, so I don't eat. Well, I feel like it was given as an offering. Any of the grilled items. I am undead, so I don't eat. But the issues start before that. Any of the junk items. What is this? Is this supposed to be an offering? The skull. Whose bones are these? I don't want you to give them to me. The beetle. A very lively beetle. But I'm not going to eat it, okay? And last but not least, the Chipapa. Oh, you're giving me a spirit? It ran away. Eater, the apoptosis. While talking to her, you learn that she is always hungry. No matter how much she eats, she is never satisfied. She exists solely to dispose of intruders into Tartarus. And she's not entirely sure what she is. She does ask what she was before she was this, and she probably was just a city girl from Remina, but nothing ever makes it clear. And she, of course, has no memory of it. But she likes to think that she is a flower now, so that's what she likes. Her trait, is Flesh Petal Trap. She can always use plant and artificial skills. She has innate bind and digestion strike, 15%, and a 50% chance to eat a bound or partially digested foe at the end of the round. So with her, you're constantly wanting to use skills that will inflict bind or digestion, because then she can just instant KO them. So that 50% chance to eat a foe at the end of the round is fairly nice, since then you can use the turn binding the enemy and not waste turns trying to eat them. So yeah, we'll put that at B. It's very handy. For play events, she'll eat her own IV. She'll steal food. She'll fall asleep. She smiles, which does nothing. And she plants seeds, which sprout and attack the enemy. So that's a mix between positive and negative, so we'll put it at C. As for story interaction, she has very little. So put that at C. We don't have anyone in the Pocket Castle she'll talk to yet. I'm hungry. So as for giving her presents, not only is she a carnivore, meaning she will only eat meat, she's also a pretty picky eater on top of that. Interesting interactions include the kids' meal. It's so small! The croquette. Croquette, roll, roll! The Gan stew. Gah! I don't like this! The ice cream. It's cold and not tasty. The cola. What is this? The coffee. Bitter and yucky. And the alcohol. I'm feeling dizzy. Is this poison? Any of the grilled items. It looks burnt, but it's tasty. The poison mushroom. And last but not least, the chipapa. Looks tasty. Aww, it ran away. Riot's the apoptosis. While talking to her, you learn that she was once a dragon, and her job is to mate with and destroy intruders. Her trait is Beast Apoptosis. Can always use Beast and artificial skills. Beast skills deal 30% extra damage and 50% chance of brief double action after using Beast skills. It's interesting that she gets the buff to Beast skills since she talks so much about being a dragon beforehand. So that chance that can always use Beast/artificial actually becomes useful, since I like her better as a dragon than a Beast. But she can't take advantage of those buffs as a Beast, so stick with those. they're nice buffs, and a chance to act double is always good. But the chance is too low to really be capitalized, so B. While playing, she will sharpen her nails, she'll trip, she gives a sidelong glance to Luca, she'll use the roar skill, and she'll practice her catchphrase. So the roar skill is pretty nice, and the trip while being a negative is a very minor one. So we'll put it at B. As for her story interaction, she has very little, so C. In the Pocket Castle, she will talk to Pappy. You're my dragon, big sis, so you're probably pretty strong. Scram, Runt. I don't have time to play with some kid. Wow, and your claws are so sharp! You must be really strong, I'm jealous. Go away. While giving her presents, she also is a carnivore, and she is also pretty picky. Interesting interactions include Chili Pepper. This is great for getting me fired up. An octopus. This creature looks weird, but it doesn't taste bad. A dried bonito. Dried fish. It's passable. Kids meal. This is not something I would eat. A steak. Thanks for giving me this. It's quite sumptuous. The broiled fish. Fish is better when it's cooked over a fire. Shrimp chili. The spiciness is appetizing. The Gian stew. Are you mocking me? The Odin. I don't like all these different foods cooked together. The wedding cake. I have no fondness for sweets or marriage. Coffee. Tastes weird. That's not too bad. Beer. Drinking alcohol invigorates me. And the grilled items. This is a low quality product, isn't it? Poison mushroom. I won't forget this. The skull. Why are you asking me whose skull this is? And last but not least, the Chipapa. Whatever creature this is. Sure runs away really quick. Luxaru the Apoptosis. While talking to her, you learn that she was a researcher in Remina. She retains all of her memories. But she has lost her sanity. Her trait is multi-claw restraint device. Normal attacks act twice, and a bind strike 30%, Can always use machina / artificial skills, dealing double damage to bound foes. So on her own, that isn't too impressive. Only 30% to bind isn't too bad, but combined with the attacking twice is pretty good. Plus her follow-up attacks are also pretty good. But if you combine her with the Eater found in the same Tartarus Rift, they make a pretty strong duo. So, but still, by herself, it's kind of meh. So, still pretty nice boost all around though. So we'll put it at B. While playing, she will install a massage function to her execution chair, but no one's willing to try it out. She will discharge electricity, dealing damage to the enemy. She will complain about her body, and she will explode. The explosion alone puts her at F for play. It would be suicide to have her as a gab out. As for her story interactions, she doesn't have much, so C. In the Pocket Castle, she will talk with Promestein and Jade. Luxaru type confirmed. A Jade type? For us to meet in a place like this, fate sure is strange. I am someone who does not know anything about herself. Are you searching for answers as well? I don't care about that. I just want to drink the stuff of my prey. As for giving presents, like all Machina, she eats basically nothing. So she will accept very few items. Interesting interactions include milk. If that's a drink, I can ingest it through my stuff-sucking hole. Although, I'll have no idea what it tastes like. The Gian stew. If that's a soup, I can ingest it through my stuff-sucking hole. Ah! Even though she can't taste it, just the thought of it is disgusting, I imagine. Beer. I'll ingest this alcohol through my stuff-sucking hole. Honey. Pour that honey into my extraction hole. Although, I have no idea what it tastes like. The roast newt. What kind of good luck charm is this? The fishbone. I'm not a garbage disposal machine. The beetle. What do you expect me to do with a bug like this? And last but not least, the chipapa. I can't squeeze anything out of a spirit. Kate, the BFer. You never fight her, so there is no talk event. Her trait is Legendary Maid's Apprentice. Can always use service skills. Service skills deal 30% extra damage. And gain 200% job XP when winning a battle while below 20% HP. So that gained 200% job EXP will be very interesting for this run, since I believe that bypasses the items I equip. And the starter skills dealing 30% extra damage is alright. But getting the job EXP is broken with the restrictions I got, so I'm putting that at A. During her play events, she will think of tonight's menu. She smiles. She gives you an item. She pulls weeds, which you get to keep. And she writes a letter to Flora. So, while those are positive effects, they are very minor, so we'll stick with C. As for story interaction, like almost all BFers, she has none. So we'll put her at F. And of course, she has no Pocket Castle interactions. How may I serve you?